Welcome to the Big Talks podcast, where real conversations spark bold vision. From real estate and legacy to faith, business, and the hunt for something more, we dive deep with guests from all walks of life. No fluff, just real talk to help you build a life and legacy that matters.
Yeah, dude. Doing insurance.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Big Talks podcast. I'm your host, Austin Bowman. Today I have our guest, Alex Young. He is a broker and a real estate agent, leader of the Bowtie group in Green Bay. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
That sounds way fancier than I actually am. My name is Alex Young. I'm a real estate agent in Northeast Wisconsin. Been doing this for a little over 8 years. And yes, I'm the leader of the Bowtie group. It sounds super fancy. It really isn't. For the longest time, it was me, myself, and I just thought the Bowtie group sounded cooler than Alex Young. And I'm fortunate to have myself. I'm beyond excited to have been working with my wife for the last year. She's the director of operations. So dynamic duo in marriage and in business.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Surprise.
When did you get married?
Oh, God. Why are you putting me on the spot like that? 2015.
Tell us the date if you're wrong.
If you're wrong, it was August 8th, 2015. And the reason I was upset about that, and this is my little snippet, is the fact that I'm very basic and I was wanting it to be 8/7/15 because then I would never forget the day that we got married.
Yeah.
Because math, numbers are numbers.
Yeah.
It's like, no, let's have it on the 8th. And it's like, great, let's do that.
This is going to mess with me for the rest of my life.
a little bit, but fortunately we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary here a little over a couple weeks ago. And now I get to sit here with you, which is almost as good.
Hey, so how was the podcast? How was the process of getting your wife into real estate? Did she approach you about it, or did you approach her?
It was something where I had planted the seed of wanting to work together. I love her through and through, and she is one of the hardest working women that I know, and she has such an incredible skill set. So for me, we are the yin and yang. She is the great at all of the things that I am terrible at. Put me in front of people, put me in negotiation, put me around situations that require a finesse when it comes to communicating. I'm your guy. When it comes to, hey, staying organized and dates and all the other things that are less exciting, those are areas that she excels in. Calendar, just overall functioning.
Are you hearing this, honey? This seems to be a trend.
We're going to cut this part out. No, but fortunately, had the conversation with her. She had been working in the public services and libraries up in Northeast Wisconsin, up in Green Bay, for a number of years. And it was just to the point where I was like, hey, you know what? I think we could do something. Why go through and have our business? At that point, it was just my business. Why am I hiring out and working with other people when I know I have one of the best people I could possibly work with right next to me?
Yeah.
And it finally got to the point where she's like, you know what? To heck with it. Let's do the thing. So went through, and it was interesting on the outside looking in because she got to get licensing, and she's licensed in the state of Wisconsin, and hearing her complain about the work and the studying and everything else like that to get to taking the exam, I'm like, oh, I know that feeling. Like, wait until you learn about continuing education. But it was a great scenario, and she left that, and her and I just picked up and started running with it, and we just hit our year mark here in July, and it's been going great. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I've been I kind of put the seed in on my wife a little bit there for getting into real estate, and I don't think it'll happen anytime soon.
It's not for everybody. When it comes to working with your spouse, that is something that I very much know 90 to 95% of people are not going to want to do. One, because it's very difficult to have healthy boundaries. Obviously, in real estate, you find yourself early on and sometimes for longer than you'd like not having those boundaries and working all of the time and being able to have that separation between work life and personal life. Like when it comes to her and I, it can be an ebb and flow because some conversations are she's my wife, other conversations she's my best friend, other conversations she's my business partner, other conversations she's the director of operations and is telling me what I got to do. So it's being able to weave between all of those on a regular basis. I understand
with it.
It takes a lot of trust and it takes a lot of faith and grace, because this is one of the first situations in our marriage where I've been doing this longer than she has. So I'm the expert in the field, which is a whole other thing. Normally she's the one that's like, up on the pedestal, knows what's going on, and is being celebrated.
In like every other category.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know my spot, and this is one of the few situations where I get to be the one that's helping lead the way and grow and teach her.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's maybe a possibility down the road, but right now we have our 1.5-year-old, and so that'd be,
so what you're saying is employee number one.
Yeah. Employee number one, our biggest expense right now for sure, but he's the best. And, but right now she's just rocking the stay at home mom thing, and which is a lot. I mean, I couldn't do that every day. Do you have any kids?
Nope. Yeah? We've got 2 furry, dogs, one 3 and 11 years old, and granted they act like children, but it's one of those where it's a lot different for us. And I understand when working with some couples and in some families that there are other priorities, and for us it's just us.
Well, to me it's like, well, that's where you guys are at, so take advantage of it. And
absolutely.
If that's what part of your guys' goals, I think that's awesome. And that is cool that you guys can have the type of relationship that can work together, because even like not being able to work together doesn't mean you're not a good couple. It's just certain personalities that wouldn't mesh well.
Absolutely. And it allows us to actually see each other. But in the past, she was working a 9 to 5. And if there's one thing about real estate, is it is not a 9 to 5 industry. So for the longest time, I was up in the morning. I had my morning routine. She was just waking up to get ready for work. She was then gone for the day. And I was like, well, I got stuff kind of putzing around, but a lot of showings and meetings and appointments are taking place after those 9 to 5 hours for other professionals and other people. And it's like, I'd get home at 7:30, 8:30 at night. And it's like, okay, hun, love you. See you tomorrow to do this again. And it got to the point where we were starting to lose our marriage and our relationship. And it was something where it's like, okay, something's got to change. And this was kind of the 2 birds, 1 stone, and it's been working great. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, and a lot of times you're like, well, people also don't realize is like, okay, well, you get home at 7 or 8. Well, great. But then if you got to write an offer and then that client, it for some reason, because tech never works, that client all of a sudden
struggling to sign stuff.
Struggling to sign. You're sitting at your computer for half an hour at 9 o'clock now because he wrote the offer and he figured out what they all want to do and they had to talk to each other. And, so it's 9 o'clock and you're trying to get that offer in, and then it's not working. And that's like the most irritating moment of your entire life. You're like,
we were so close.
I want to go to bed.
I've heard of my bedroom. I've heard of it.
I just had that happen on Sunday night for no reason. They had already signed earlier that day another thing, and then we were changing something and sent it. I think we were countering our own offer. Sent it back to them. Just wasn't working. I'm like,
because of course.
That's cool, Just waiting on one stupid sheet of paper to be signed. And of course,
it's like, darn it, why am I so ethical? Why do I have to ensure that the right people are the ones signing it?
I wish the husband could just sign twice. No, but awesome. Well, we'll get into the questions here.
Let's
have
roll.
a couple for you. Number 1, what inspired you to start the Bowtie Group, and how did the name come about?
Ooh, the name for the Bowtie Group. Okay, so I had gotten into the business June 1st, 2017. And for the first year and a half, almost 2 years, I was on a team. So it wasn't me, myself, and I. I was under my mentor's team. And at that point, the team had dissolved. And it was like, okay, I'd been struggling that first 18 months, 24 months in the industry. And it got to the point where it's like, do I want to stay in this? Do I not? I mean, it was rough. It was to the point where my wife had taken up a second job in order for us to make bills. I was donating plasma, so I had the money on the prepaid Visa card so I could get the gas so I could go to the show. And it's like,
pay for groceries.
It was absolutely miserable. And it got to the point where I was like, I don't know should I do this or should I go back to it? And my wife Amanda was like, this is you. Like, we'll find a way to make it happen. And when the team dissolved, it was like, okay, I got a choice. I can either join another team or bet on me and my skill set and what I've learned and take off. My biggest thing, though, my background's in communication and public relations. And the last thing I wanted to do, just from a future-proof standpoint, is have my name slapped on everything, because that means that I am always, 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 1, tied to the business, and 2, it makes it difficult for other people to get behind the business or be a part of it, because I've always been told and been taught the reason the leaders lead is they should have dreams that are big enough that the dreams of other people can fit inside of it. So if I ever in the future wanted to have somebody join the bowtie group, or what was going to become the bowtie group, I needed to be sure that it was something that they could take on and advertise and promote themselves. I wanted something to live outside of me. And to be honest, it was a panic decision. I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I was like, well, wait a second. I know how to tie bow ties.
I like bow ties.
I like bow ties. And I was like, hey, you know what's really cool? If the bow tie, if the knot was a house, and then the logo could be a bow tie with a house in the middle. And I was like, I said it to a friend, Mary, and she's like, oh, that's genius. And so then I ran with it. And here we are 6 years later, and it's still chugging along. But it's always funny when somebody's like, oh my gosh, so tell me about the bowtie group and how you're the leader and all these other things. I'm like, well, I have meetings with myself all the time. The voices in my head. It's
well, I think that goes back to a point, like a little bit, like a lot of people get caught up. There is something to say about like planning and like curating what title you want to have or whatever. Like a good example is like an LLC name. It's the worst to name an LLC. You're like, I don't know. Like, how much is this going to matter down the road? Like, it might matter a lot, might not matter that much. I think it's more important to just pick something that you like and just run with it.
Absolutely.
Worst case is you change it down the road.
Yeah.
But, like, I think most of the time it ends up working out being something that you get known for and something that fits you anyway because it came from you.
Yeah.
And I think overthinking and then, like, going through the 1,000 options on ChatGPT actually makes
I want to get it right.
You.
I wanted to get it perfect. And the phrase is, it's better to be done than to be 90% of the way there and being done is better than 100% not being done. So in the situation for mine, it was like, I don't know, panic decision, bowtie group, and go. And it happened to work out well because it's something where now I have friends and family and clients and past clients and other people where they will see bow ties elsewhere. They'll take pictures and they'll send it to me. I'm like, oh, awesome. Like they're thinking of me. So from a business savviness standpoint, I'm like, oh, this was a genius decision.
Like, cool.
6 years ago, that definitely was not how I was thinking or feeling when I came up with it. It was more out of panic.
Yeah. I actually kind of jumped over this, and I don't want to jump over it too much. But when you mentioned you had a rough start, in real estate,
absolutely,
me and you were pretty much the same.
Yeah,
because I remember meeting you. I think the first time I met you was in the Green Bay KW office.
Yep,
it was probably 2016,
2017.
2017. Okay, so 2017. Within a year, that's not bad for
it's me being there or not
for having 100 concussions,
health issues.
Yeah, who needs it? Memory, who needs it? So 2017, and I remember you always had the neck, the bow tie, but then you also had the what was it? The thing that connected to your phone for phone calls around the neck. I remember that.
Yes.
Because at the time, I was shopping for one, and I'm like, well, I need one too. And everybody thought you needed the Bluetooth in-ear thing, and which is like valuable. But when I started, man, I had a rough start as well, and so I always like pointing this out, not to like be like, oh, you had a hard start, but to point out like, a lot of people starting real estate think that you can just jump in and get 30 sales in a year, 50 sales in a year. And it's like, well, no. I mean, a lot of top agents don't have 15.
No.
Or like, you'd be surprised if you like looked up who sold what, the names that are behind some of the numbers. And part of it's because that's not all their income. Yeah. Like, if you're a big time agent, a lot of times their only income is not sales.
Yeah, there's other resources, other pillars that play into it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's setting yourself up for a life by design. But a lot of times it does not start with, I sold, 5 houses in my first month.
No.
Or 1 house in my first month. Or 1 house in your first 6 months sometimes.
And that's how, when I started, I got my license and I started and I had 4 deals under contract in the first 2 weeks, and I just thought to myself like, oh, this is easy. I totally get it. I didn't have another deal for the next 5 months, and I was like, and then I had 2 to finish the year. My first 6 months of almost 7 months of the year, I had 6 deals total, which financially was terrible. absolutely terrible when I actually looked at my take home, because what a lot of people don't realize is you think, oh, I earn this commission. It's like, well, no, you have to set your money aside for taxes. You have to be sure you have your money aside for bills. You have to prioritize and have these things planned out. And it is not for everybody to go through and suddenly go from what I had, which was a salary plus commission environment. So every 2 weeks I got paid, and then once a month I got a little bonus on top of it. So I had that, I had benefits, I had everything else going before real estate. And then to go to something where it's like, hey, how about no benefits, no insurance, and you only get paid when somebody successfully gets to the closing table. And it's like, well, you could do everything right with somebody for 30 days, 60 days, 6 months, a year, and then at the last minute they're like, changed my mind. And it's like, okay, the number of hours that go into that, it definitely took its toll, and those first 18 months were brutal.
I mean, I just had a story like this week. I mean, this stuff happens like fairly often, just like time. I'll never say time wasted, but time that goes into something that you do not end up getting paid for. So like, for example, I have a client who's an investor. I showed him a house back in July, wrote on it, lost, because he had, pretty limited with what he wanted to do, because he had his, he's an investor, so it has to mathematically work out. So we were, under the asking price, and we lost. House actually came back on market this month. We went and looked at it, decided to write on it, and we have the whole offer written in, about to submit everything. Find out that there's like potentially lead pipe. He redid his evaluation and wanted to back out. So I'm like, okay, so that's another example of like, and this isn't even that big of a deal. Like everybody's had the buyers where you've written 5-6 offers and not gotten anything accepted. But I mean, that was, I think, officially like we backed out yesterday. So like, just that's a lot of hours added up that you don't get paid from. And that's just an example from like right now. But I mean, we all have stories of just long roads. I mean, I think I have buyers out there right now that have like been looking for like 2 or 3 years.
And that's not uncommon. And it's something where I don't think many people realize that, because whether it's because of the Netflix shows or HGTV, it's like, oh my gosh, your entire job is open the door, look at pretty houses, get paid. And it's like, okay, we are psychologists, we are the master communicator, the marketer, the negotiator, the salesperson, the shoulder to cry on, all of these things. And ultimately we're doing it to serve our clients and to make sure they have the best experience possible from one of the biggest moments in their life. And I don't think there are enough people that realize the amount of effort and time away from our friends and our family. And it can be difficult when we are in a society of push button, get results. I want to go, if I want the information, I want to send a text message and I want my response immediately. And that's difficult because I love the clients that I serve. I love the people that I work with. I love having conversations with you. And I know that there are going to be points in my life and points in my day where somebody's going to reach out to me and I'm not going to respond to them. And it's not because I don't want to speak with them, but it's because I love my wife. I love our dogs. I love my friends and my family. And there are times where they are not the priority. And it's difficult to strike that balance. And that's part of the reason why our relationship struggled, our marriage struggled on multiple occasions. My mental health was terrible. My physical health was terrible. And this is something that I don't think enough people talk about when it comes to the real estate industry, is the level of burnout. There's a reason why the failure rate's almost 90% within the first 2 years, because this is not, you have to be a special kind of, whether it's crazy or stupid, to want to do this on a reasonable basis and to have the resilience to do it for longer than that time period. I mean, here we are, very fortunate. I'm very grateful for where I am and for being able to have this conversation with you. But I know so many people where they started off with the right expectations and the right hopes and just weren't able to make it.
Well, it doesn't speak anything negatively to that person. Like I talked with somebody who was getting out of real estate. I mean, I left real estate for a year. So, I mean, there's reasons, and I won't even say justifications. There's like logical reasons that it just isn't working out. For you, or you're not the right personality, or you could. I've known successful people that are just like, I don't like it anymore.
Life happens.
Like, okay,
priorities change.
Yeah, so like, it doesn't mean that you weren't good. And I think like people always think that like, oh, if you change your career, it means you failed.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, you could have learned about yourself, found something else. You might like, there's jobs out there that I would probably like, if I thought about it, I would rather do. Like, I would love to guide hunting. Realistically, probably not going to happen.
I would love for you, to be honest, when I look at you, I imagine you being one of the preeminent, like world-renowned sign spinners. Like, I imagine you being one of those people that is able to do all the different tricks.
Dude, I could throw that so high.
I know. You're just like, oh my gosh, look at that, way up there.
My hourly rate would be nuts. $500 an hour to spin that sign, man. If you want a pro.
A pro. There's amateur. Well, it's funny you mention that because I think that's, unfortunately, in a bit of a weird transition, that's kind of how it's talked about when it comes to real estate is, it's so easy. And I think that's part of the unrealistic expectation. And I'm here to share with obviously you and I both know, but for anybody that's watching this or is even contemplating getting into the industry, it is not for everybody. That is perfectly fine. It is a miserable, thankless role 95% of the time, but that 5% of celebration and joy that we are able to bring into people's lives makes all of it worth it. But it's difficult. You will learn a lot about yourself and the people around you and how you work and how you learn and how you grow. And sometimes, and I think that's what you mentioned, leaving the industry for a short period of time, sometimes you learn stuff about yourself or about your business where you're like, this is not me. This is not who I am. And it's very, I think people are very quick to push that to the side versus taking the ownership of like, you know what? I'm going to give myself the grace and understanding that this is not right for me right now. I need to do something else and be somewhere else. And then when the time changes, your priorities change or whatever that might be, I'm standing outside your window tossing rocks up there holding the boom box for anybody who remembers what that is over my head being like, baby, come back. And baby, come back. And then here you are.
That's like just a great point. Like it's not a failure to change a career. No. It's not, whether it's real estate or anything else. Sometimes you're just growing and trying to find something different for yourself. Like I think, like it's a little like a priority for my wife, like her staying, she works 1 day a week just for like, sanity and to keep her nursing license, active, stuff like that. But for her, it's like, that was kind of a big shift to be like, have all this fulfillment from being a full-time nurse and constantly helping people. She went through that when she left labor and delivery. Like she used to, actually help deliver the babies on the floor on night shift. So there was like a lot more interaction there. And then she went to the clinic. And so even in her career, she's experienced that, but that's because the priorities changed.
Yeah.
She eventually prioritized, okay, my life schedule matters more than being on night shift.
Yeah.
Then, we have a kid now. Like, realistically, how can we do this? What's better for our son? What's better for our son is my wife raising him, staying home. That's just our personal choice, right? Nothing wrong with doing daycare. But, like, we changed a lot around to make that happen and adjust a lot in our life to make that happen because that was our goal. That could have ended up me doing something else, like potentially. And if it meant my son or my wife staying home with my son, in order for that to happen, if I had to change careers, I probably would have because that is number one. Like my son's number one. So like sometimes people change for stuff like that, life choices. It's not always because you must have not done well.
Yeah,
but
there is power and strength in honesty and vulnerability.
Yeah. All right, next question. Number 3, what's been the biggest challenge you faced as a realtor and how did you overcome it?
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries are
8 to 8 or whatever it is.
It was when I first started off, and this is part of the reason, and my wife and I are very open and transparent about this, is our marriage during that first 2 years was abysmal. It was terrible. We were constantly on edge with each other, and we were not married. We coexisted.
You were roommates?
Barely even that. And part of that came because I had incredibly unhealthy boundaries that would allow me to have some semblance of a personal life. And it started off, I'm surprised, I'm very high energy and I don't consume a whole lot of caffeine. What? Spoiler. And I am that person that I can just Energizer Bunny, go, go, go. And during that time period, I mean, I'm one of those weird people that's up at 4:30 in the morning and I could run until 10:30, 11 o'clock at night and be ready to rock and roll and do it again the next day. The hard part with that is I was responding to emails and doing things, I don't want to say outside of working hours, but when I was right out of bed in the morning at 4:35 in the morning, nobody's going to read that email. But in my head, I was like, I need to do this now. I need to do this now. And at night, we were joking earlier about like waiting around for signatures. Here I am writing stuff up at 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, being like, oh, I got to do it now. It's like, but do I really? And
acceptance is going to be tomorrow anyway.
Nope. Nobody else is up. Why the hell am I up?
Yep. It's pretty rare now, even in today's market. I feel like agents have done a good job of like, hey, let's just look at this tomorrow. It's 10 p.m. Like, we'll just put binding for tomorrow, binding acceptance or whatever. But it used to be like, oh, we got to get this in tonight. Yeah, like that used to happen a little bit more.
And there's still occasions for that to happen. But I think with the boundaries and what I've really learned from that is going to be, it took hitting rock bottom mentally and emotionally and relationally for me to realize that my priorities need to change.
Yeah.
And it involved very honest and painful and difficult conversations with my wife and with my friends, and in talking about our finances, like it was rough. And those boundaries are now to the point where I'm able to, if somebody's calling me, if somebody's texting me, if somebody wants a response right then and there, I realize, you know what? There's no such thing as an emergency in real estate.
We're good.
All right. Well, I got one more question for you.
All right, lay it on me.
Question number 3. What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone just starting out in real estate?
Ooh, good question. Piece of advice that I would give to someone just starting out. I would say protect your no. Now, what I mean by that is it's very easy, especially when starting out, to say yes to everything. And it's very easy to say, yes, I'm going to go do that showing. Yes, I'm going to make those phone calls. Yes, I'm going to host this open house and say yes, yes, yes. And the thing is, there's only one of you and there's only so much time in the day. And it's very easy as a new agent to want to always be there for others and forget to be there for yourself and for the people that are important to you. In my situation, it's my wife, it's my dogs, it's our friends, our families. And it is something where if I said yes to everything, which I did when I first started, I nearly lost my marriage. I nearly lost my sanity. My health, physically, mentally, were in the gutter. And it was some of the darkest and worst times of my life, simply because I felt guilty when I said no to something or to someone or for something. And I realized that I should not feel guilty for prioritizing and saying no to something so that I have the space and the grace to say yes to something else.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That's a really good advice.
Yeah, it's easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. It is very easier said
I still
than
struggle
done.
with it. You know, for me, it's always been like, my struggle has always been like, keeping my schedule, like not answering my phone at a certain time.
Ooh.
And that's where like I need to put mine, or like trying to fit too much into a day. That's the two things that I need to be better at with saying my no.
Yeah.
And just over the last almost 10 years, it's been that way.
Yeah.
You know, like I shouldn't say the whole last 10 years, but maybe 3 years ago, I started getting a lot better with like kind of what you alluded to before. Like I might not answer my phone because I'm with my son. Yeah. And you could throw the most like extreme situation at me. My son's priority. Yep. So
that's powerful and incredible that you are able to say that, because I know you and I, again, years ago would have been like, maybe I should take that phone call. Maybe I should go through and grab my computer. And it's like, okay, you can only have one thing as a priority at a time. Is it your son? Is it my wife? Is it work? And finding that balance, and saying no allows you the ability to have that priorities change and to shift. so that you can continue to do what you do best, which is unfortunately talk to me for 35, 40 minutes here on this morning. But that's probably the biggest thing, because it's not very difficult. It is impossible to fill the cups of others if your cup is empty.
Yes.
And if you continue to say, yes, here's something for you, here's something for you, here's something for you, and suddenly your cup is empty.
So
you're done.
So easy to do that too. I think it's really easy, and it's a mistake. New agents out there and experienced agents like to justify your way around doing everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, and don't let it be like mistaken that whenever you switch from watching that show with your wife that she might have been wanting to watch all day to answer a phone call, you just prioritize that phone call over that moment with your wife. And I can almost guarantee you that's how your wife's feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it's like, dude, yes, sure, it might be, The Office that you're watching, and you're watching it for the 30th time. That's not really what you're doing. What you're really doing is maybe spending some time with your wife.
Quality time.
And that 30 minutes of the day where your wife just wanted to go and be with you. And now you're taking a 30-minute phone call for a buyer that you might have been working with for months. So it's like, you didn't need to.
No.
Nope. They're not even looking at a house today. It did not, like that happens all the time, and it's so easy to justify answering that call.
Yeah. And so that's probably the slipperiest slope for new agents is feeling not just comfortable, but confident enough to say no and protect that.
Well, I think it comes a little bit with experience, which is why it's really hard for new agents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Knowing that you can say no and everything will be fine. So, well, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
It's been terrible. I hated every second of it.
You know what? I'd like to think I'm somewhat socially acceptable, but the fact that now we're in a room on a podcast for the interwebs is just the worst.
Yeah. I definitely don't want to get lunch now.
No, hard pass.
Why don't you just go back to your
day? Fine. I'm going to
fine.
throw this nice microphone out of the way.
I always knew there was an animosity.
But for those of you who want to continue putting up with me, find me on my socials of the Bowtie Group. Alex Young Realtor. Our YouTube channel is the Bowtie Group, and I said this earlier off camera, I'm on a quest right now to hit a certain subscriber count by my birthday. And if I do, I'm getting a bow tie tattoo. So feel free to jump on there and give me a reason to get a tattoo. I don't need many of them, but I also get to give him one.
Yeah, I'm getting one on my face. Just a bow tie right on my cheek.
I'm so gonna get you a temporary tattoo for that.
Yeah, I'm so serious about it too.
I know. That's the best thing about this podcast. He doesn't only pour into you, he pours into me.
So whatever that was gonna go.
It doesn't matter. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, no, it was a good conversation. I appreciate the topics.
Absolutely.
But awesome. Thanks for watching, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for listening to the Big Talks podcast, where vision meets action and stories build legacy. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who's chasing something bigger. Until next time, keep talking big.